Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday, our pre-Friday, and I have a story, a pretty important story that I want to talk to you guys about because I think it's pretty relatable to everybody, every couple, every human in this world, and it's really how we handle stress. And it's our adaptability to stress, right? It is not the strongest who survive, it's the most adaptable. And that means that you can let stress bounce off of your body, right? Instead of holding it in, we've got externalizers, just hold on to everything, and there's so many wound tight layers of stress that are inside their body, you couldn't possibly break through. And then there's people that are externalizers. Something stressful that happens, and they're like, rah, right? The atomic bomb people. Neither's great, right? Neither's great. You need to be in the most rational mindset ever to handle stress. And the best thing you can do is get ahead of your stress and put your body in a state that is calm, it's organized, it's balanced, and it can handle stressful things. You can respond appropriately to stress, because we can all relate to times when something stressful happened, and then one more thing, and you just want to lose it, right? You start to get sick, you might get a headache, you might just like lash out at your spouse or your kids. It's really important that you get balanced. And here's an analogy that I'm going to show you. We call it you're flipping your lid. So if anybody's ever heard of that analogy before, it's like when your fight or flight sympathetic nervous system goes off and you're like, rah, right? Or it's so tight internally, it's still flipped off, but you're just like, you're the internalizer, you're going to keep everything inside of you. And I know when I made the angry face, that's the thumbnail Facebook's going to use for this video. So I'm sure it'll grab some attention. However, okay, when you look at your brain, you've got a hindbrain. It's your amygdala. That's your fight or flight response. That is the part of your brain that does irrational, reactive, impulsive thought. Then, on the top of your brain, you've got your prefrontal cortex that keeps this from turning on. This is that lid that we were talking about. This does the rational, organizing, creative thought. This is where we want to be. When I'm talking about being adaptable to stress, we want this lid to be as tight on this amygdala as we can get. Because a lot of us will start living our lives up here, and then rah, right? And you're wound so tight that that's who you become. Nerves that fire together, wire together. And we all know people who are just so uptight or so angry or so sad. Those are the internalizers that become really depressed or anxious. And they just allow the lid to continue to escalate and move off because we don't handle the stress when it does come our way. We don't get ahead of it. And there are things you can do that are going to help you manage stress. Exercise, walking, meditation, and most importantly, what you might not know is chiropractic adjustments. What we found through the research is that when you hook someone up to electrodes, you deliver a chiropractic adjustment, the only place that's stimulated is in that prefrontal cortex, which inhibits this fight or flight response. So what we see people doing over time, especially in our office under care, is that lid closed down. And then they're just a little bit more rational to talk to. They're more friendly, they're more outgoing, they're more bubbly. We always know when someone walks in that's a little bit uptight that we're like, wow, we can't wait for their first 12 adjustments. So they can be who they're designed to be instead of the uptight, stressed out version of themselves. And this came into play a few weeks ago when I had a couple come in, and the husband was completely balanced. He was the lid on tight guy, and the wife was this person, right? And you could just kind of tell outwardly in the way that they were interacting. But then when we ran our neurological scans, which I want to show you what these look like, we could see that it was reflected in that way. So the way we read these scans are on, and it's opposite for us, but over here is the sympathetic nervous system side, and here is rest, digest, heal, and repair. When we're taking this test, we want them balanced on this line right here, this black line. You can see she's way over here in the orange, and anything outside of the yellow we call uptight, getting into the point of distress. Orange and below is distress, so she's hovering right on that line. And why taking this information and having a conversation with them was really important was because they got some devastating news from a medical doctor. And the way he was handling the news was very rational, balanced, organized, calm. And the way she was handling the news was extremely devastating. And that combination with a couple can be tough. It can be really, really tough when we're both people are stuck in that fight or flight response. But keeping that lid on tight and getting ahead of stress, so when stress comes your way, you're not just internalizing it or acting irrational to it, because when you're stuck in that fight or flight, hindbrain amygdala response, it's not great. It's not great to you. It's not great to anyone around you. And you have to understand every cell in your body is experiencing that same stress that you are. Every cell has to go through that body. And we don't want, of course, you doing that. We also don't want everyone else around you experiencing that, because they're going to also pick up on your stress and on your energy. So my absolute 100% recommendation is to be able to choose your stress wisely, is what I say. When you're trying to put the lid on your stress, choose wisely. If this holidays right now are stressful to you, say no to keeping up with the Joneses. Say no to the rush and hustle and bustle of the holiday shopping. Say no to the cake and the ice cream and the holiday parties that you are going to be stressed to make it to. Be the person that has to say no. That way, what you say yes to, you can fully commit to, and you can show up at your best self and with your lid on tight, right? Have rational, organized, calm, creative conversation with people that you're around, building stronger relationships with those people that you know and love. Eating well, of course, is absolutely 100% what you need to do. Drinking more water because it's dry in the air and it's not hot and we're not thirsty. There's a lot of dehydrated people these days. Getting enough exercise. And I've told you how important those chiropractic adjustments are. I can't wait to see this family more balanced so they can rationalize. And be more organized with each other. There's been 1,000 times that I've wanted to put a video out and just tag it, dads, you want to get laid more? Pay attention to what's going on in your life. But I think Facebook would take that down. But seriously, if you want a good relationship with other people, including your spouse, moms too, but dads are going to pick up on that line way more than women are. Seriously, get in control of your health. Do the things that are going to help you. Thanks, Kelly. Help you be more balanced and calm and organized. That way, if there's stress that comes your way, it can bounce right off of you instead of accumulating inside of your body or just freaking vomiting it out to the world. So, hope you guys have a great day. I hope that was helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon. Happy Thursday.